Good afternoon. It is 11:11 on April 6th, 2023, and the meeting of the Urban Design Commission will now come to order. May we have a roll call?
Nicole Ream.
Here.
Monica Sullivan.
Here.
Edith McKee.
Here.
Allison Gordy.
Here.
Julia Foland.
Here.
Alexandra Nanalo.
Here.
You have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. May we get a motion to approve the minutes from March 8th, 2023?
I motion to approve.
Second. It has been moved by Commissioner Rem and seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Moving on to special order of business, are there any disclosures?
I have one. Commissioner Foland was not in attendance for the last meeting, but I listened to the entire meeting last night.
Thank you, Commissioner Foland. Are there any other disclosures? This is Chair McKee. I need to disclose that I was recused from voting on case number 2023-200022 and will abstain from voting on the consent agenda for this case. Are there any other disclosures? So unless the commission would prefer to vote on this matter, Commissioner Foland will be voting on the consent agenda. Okay. If there is no other discussion and hearing none, may we please vote on the consent agenda.
So Chair McKee, need to note that Commissioner Cox has joined the meeting.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Please, do I just make a statement?
Yes, and it's
Okay.
11:14. Yeah.
Please note that Commissioner Cox has joined the meeting at 11:14 a.m. Commissioner Cox, do you have any disclosures that you need to make?
Having none.
Okay, thank you. Just because we'd already been through that portion of the agenda when you had joined, so I wanted to give you an opportunity. Okay, if there is no other discussion, let's vote on the consent agenda.
Did we get a motion? Did we get a motion in second?
Oh,
I moved.
I'm sorry.
to approve.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
May we please get a motion to vote on the consent agenda? And it was moved by Commissioner Rem. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Sullivan. Do I need to ask us to vote?
Is there, excuse me, anyone wishing to pull anything from the consent agenda for discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, hearing none, may we please vote on the consent agenda?
Or if there are no objections, it's hard to vote this way. So if there are no objections.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So if there are no objections, may we please vote on the consent agenda?
If there's no objections, the consent agenda is approved, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I'm all like we
You're
scrambled,
fine.
and now I'm
You're
a little bit
fine.
lost.
That's all right.
So
You're doing great, Edith.
You're doing great, Edith. Can I make a point for Edith?
please.
Commissioner McKee, you can literally read underneath the consent agenda D on that that page where it does say, would anyone like to pull an item from the consent agenda for discussion or corrections? Hearing none, the consent agenda, you can just read that.
Okay. 'Cause I thought I was like, okay, thank you very much. So I'll start. We have a motion. Commissioner Rem and Commissioner Sullivan moved. Would anyone like to pull an item from the consent agenda for discussion or corrections? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Thank you. And then may I have a may I have a motion to close the meeting, end the meeting? Or the meeting is closed, or the meeting is done?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
It's all right. It's working.
Sorry, this was painful.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
May we have a second?
A second.
Was that
Thank
Julie?
you. The meeting is adjourned.